trap.
Which does play a little similarly. It can play a little similarly. You're right. All right, well, enough jibber jabber. It looks like the teams are ready. I think we should be good to go. Let them know that we are ready to go, and we will bring you guys game one here momentarily.
The Narrows of the English Channel have borne witness to some of the most famous naval battles in history. Now, the storied cliffs of Dover provide the inspiration and backdrop for a naval clash of epic proportions. This is Crash Zone Alpha. Crash Zone Alpha is a 42 by 42 kilometer domination-style map with 3 cap points running in a line from southwest to northeast. The A cap is in the bottom left, B is in the center, and C is in the top right. In the center and southwest, both A and B caps provide at least a modicum of cover for radar cruisers looking to support friendly destroyers as they vie for control of each cap. The islands that hug the borders of these two capture zones are tall enough to provide cover and close enough that their radar envelopes will cover the entire capture area. Digging out an entrenched radar ship will be but one of the many challenges teams will face while vying for control of each of these two cap zones. To the northeast, Capture Area C is a much riskier play for cruisers. The islands here are smaller and farther back from the capture zone, making it much more destroyer-friendly. Battleships seeking better firing angles on enemies farther south are likely to find what they're looking for up here, but pushing too far north or east can be a very risky play. Crash Zone Alpha is proving to be a unique and challenging map for teams to build strategies for. Has one of the teams in this match formulated a winning strategy? Let's find out. 18 ships, 2 teams, 1 victor. It's time to play Crash Zone Alpha.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Game 1 of the North American Finals here in King of the Sea 9. We are looking, of course, at both teams via our new fancy spectator mode, which we are really enjoying. And Zath, you and I were just commenting about CUTER's team lineup being very, very. I serve the Soviet Union. I kind of almost expect to see them execute poor Congo Pride's daring for treason because he's the only non-Russian ship in their lineup.
Well, maybe that speaks a little bit to what their end goal is. Unfortunately, they're not all running the same camo. I was expecting to see like everybody wearing red camo.
That would have been really cool, huh?
Yeah, I think a couple of them got that, but
yeah,
I think there was a little
definitely some of them are. I see. It looks like the Shref Smolensk there definitely had some red camo on.
Yeah.
Well, as we look over at CUTER's lineup, of course, double Kremlin, double Stalingrad, triple Smolensk, Daring, and Grozovoy. That might be one of the few Grozovoys we've seen this event.
Yep.
07 sticking with a lineup that's worked for them throughout this tournament, that at least the games that we've seen them play. Double Kremlin, double Des Moines, Moskva, Smolensk, double Summers, and Shimakaze. Now, they have done brilliant work with the double Summers and the Shimakaze when they have been able to coordinate their torpedo drops.
Also worth note, Dragon is already capping B, basically signaling to CUTER, well, you know, you can go AC all you want, but we're going to take the middle.
I'm going to say, CUTER don't care. They're going AC. There is not a single ship even remotely interested in the middle of the map from the CUTER side. 07 flexing that early destroyer advantage very quickly, picking up B, as we'll see what the response is from CUTER here. Already, we see a great torpedo salvo here to Potato 69 Summers as Dragon Shimakaze adding to the mix here, kind of going for a bit of a funky cross-torp angle action. Both those torpedo salvos headed into the C cap.
Yeah, meanwhile, Pony Magistrate has decided to go into the A cap. He's going to start working his way to slowly but surely back in. He knows there's an enemy destroyer in A. He just doesn't know necessarily where.
That's correct. He can see the torpedo salvo astern of him there. Well, we can anyway. Maybe he can't.
No, he can now.
Okay.
I was watching Pony Magistrate's view.
Okay. Well, he'll be backed up soon by, who is this, Des Moines? That's BFK for Life's Des Moines. I'm not sure Des Moines radar. This is a 42 by 42 map, so the Des Moines radar should reach the bottom end of the cap. So my suspicion is they're simply waiting to get some of these other ships into position before they try and radar whatever destroyer it is that's sitting on A.
Now, it's very interesting having Des Moines, Kremlin, Summers off at A cap there, just because we typically see a Russian cruiser being placed where BFK is, simply because you got that little bit of extra oomph with the radar, but you also have the, I guess, ability to dodge torpedoes a little bit easier, I guess, in a sense. I mean, if you've got a legendary Des Moines, you know, LOL, but I think it's a little bit narrower of a ship, so it's a little bit easier to avoid some torpedo hits.
Could be. not a bad point there, as we see CUTER working very wide down on the J line. They've got Cruiser Prinz, Eugen, Smolensk down here, along with M37-3 Stalingrad. Brain Delays, Grozovoy working the bottom end of the A-cap. They've just popped the radar. That's the Stalingrad radar, getting shells out at Pony Magistrate. Smolensk starts in on, looks like he's taking shots at Pony right now, but he took an original salvo at BFK. I'm sure there'll be more of that once they lose sight of Pony.
Well, and that's the other thing, too, with putting BFK there in a Des Moines, is it can be chewed up by IFHE Smolensk shells.
True. Pony taking a little bit of damage from the Smolensk shells as he tries to droggle his throttle and kind of juke some of these inbound shells. Does a decent job. He's only taking about 2 or 3K damage there. As it does look as if 07 is going to surrender the A-cap. Now, they did bag C very quickly as well. We didn't mention it, but they're now on about a 130-point lead here, coming up 5 minutes gone on the strength of their destroyer advantage. Now, having watched them play the semifinals, this is a very, very similar tactic to what we saw them take that match as well. They have managed to work this Des Moines into position down along the 1 line. That's Beaver Hunter as he's taking shots, blind shots into the Smolensk smoke down there on the J line.
Yeah, it feels like all the action's over at A. There's a little bit of cap action going on at C cap right now.
Indeed. Congo back into C. Potato 69 not interested, is actually sailing away from it. No, he just turned his engine on. So Potato is reversing back into that cap. He'll be back on the cap momentarily. But all of the 07 force at C is set up to kind of kite away.
Including William the Dank here.
Indeed.
In his Kremlin.
Including in William. It still sounds so wrong to say William's Kremlin. That just feels so wrong, Zaf.
Yep.
William the Dank here on North America, known best for his Montana play in King of the Sea. Haven't seen him play Montana at all this tournament.
Yeah, how do you think he feels about that?
I mean, you do what you have to play the game the best you can to win your team. You feel the team that you think is going to give you the best chance to win. But, I mean, I'm sure he misses Montana. He loves that shit. See 07 doing a great job of kind of allowing this. There's a lot of CUTER force up at C trying to wrap through the C cap and push west along the BC line. Pony Magistrate Summers back into A.
Ooh, Kremlin's going to take some damage here. Admiral PNG is going to take 1, maybe 2 torps. 1 torp. Not that much.
And 07, to their credit, has about the equal number of ships up there to try and slow down this push. They've got Dragon, Shimakaze, and Potato 69 Summers there to kind of keep pumping torpedoes into the face of this as CUTER's going to have to react to those destroyers. Yeah,
meanwhile, 07's got to be really careful here. I think if they kite too hard on the north side, they're going to get wrapped around.
Right.
Which we never want to see that happen. So they have to be careful not to give too much ground.
Well, they've got about equal force up here at C. They're actually, other than the B cap, right, where Dragon Shimakaze continues to just kind of hang out, they've got about equal force in both portions of the map. But both of the Summers, that's Pony Magistrate's just getting hammered down here. When I looked last, you had about 17,000 HP. Doesn't have that right now.
No.
And Potato 69 Summers up at up at C on the north end of the map are just both below half HP.
Now, it's important to note that Pony is not detected right now, so
okay.
he's
on
safe.
fire, so I'm a little surprised of that.
Right.
If we have a quick look over CUTER's destroyers, they have not lost a single point of health between them. Doing a brilliant job of managing their vision and their health pools. They are basically untouched. So we talked about how much 07's destroyer play was the big difference maker in that match that they beat PWP. And here right now, in terms of health trades, CUTER is kind of outplaying them in that department.
What I'm really surprised to see, though, is Burke is pretty healthy still in the Des Moines.
He is indeed snuggled up to this island. The Smolensk was only able to farm him for a little while, and he doesn't have vision on him or doesn't have shots. I'm not sure which.
Pony's back into A-cap now.
He is indeed. 07 clinging to about an 80-point lead here as both teams taking up 1 cap. 07 on the brink of capping A. Pony Magistrate done a great job working this cap, and they do bag it. That'll start to open up the lead again just a bit.
Oh, look back over at C cap. There's more torpedoes coming for Admiral PNG. Takes 2.
Yep. Those were Summers torps from Potato up north.
That's Flood plus engine out plus double fire now.
PNG, Admiral PNG in a lot of trouble, looking at double fire, Flood, and an engine decap. Putting shells downrange at Dolphin Prince's Smolensk. I don't even know if he can see Dolphin.
Well,
He can, because I'm looking over his shoulder. So, yeah, he can definitely see him. PNG under a tremendous amount of threat here, still continuing to burn. They're going to lose this Kremlin, Zath.
Oh, absolutely.
He does finally get his repair back, but you know 07 is calling for more pain and more focused fire on him. Carrier Hosho's Smolensk now smoking up right in front of him, kind of trying to, I think, use this smoke to block line of sight rather than, like, you know, park his ship in it.
Well, it's a good thing, too, because we can see if there's torpedoes coming this way, as Admiral is down to 500
500 HP. A single shell, a mere overpen will wipe him off the board. And there's even still yet another Summers torpedo salvo coming in as he's trying to turn into it. I don't know if he's detects them, but he has to suspect that they're coming.
It's very possible that Carrier Hosho has hydro up and
He's
was able
going
to
out,
detect
Zath.
it.
He's going into the smoke, but he's about to take torpedo in the bow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. Yep, there it was. I thought he might dodge it, but it wasn't going to happen.
Pony Magistrate going down over ACAP, so it was a trade after all.
Both teams down a ship now, but 07 down one of their destroyers and CUTER down one of their battleships. Now, CUTER's destroyers, while we were watching all that drama at sea, looking decidedly less healthy now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what beat up Congo up north, but Brain Delay definitely sacrificing some of his Grozavoy's health to recap A and put Pony Magistrate out of the game. Let's see, have a look. Are they repositioning? I'm having a look at 07 here. Nope, Dragon continues to hang around the B cap as Carrier's Hosho Smolensk is now pushing very, very, very close up to that cap.
Yep. Cruiser Prince Eugen trying to get out of range here in the Smolensk, ducked behind some island cover at about half health.
Yeah, they have no eyes on him now. The only ship they can see on that part of the board is M373's Stalingrad. Very, very tight game. 9 minutes to play. Only 40 points separating these two teams on Crash Zone Alpha. CUTER looks really good, Zath.
Both teams look really good.
I know. I think this is going to be a much closer match than the third place game.
Of note is that BFK is backing out of this area, which is, I think, a really smart decision. There's no point in keeping him here. He's now going to flex. We see 07 do this a lot with their Des Moines and other cruisers. They don't like to sit in the same spot for a very long time.
Well, certainly not for the whole match.
Yeah.
But also with the battleship removed from the northern flank, you know, that gives them the opportunity to exert some pressure in that direction with their heavy cruisers that they might not be otherwise able to.
William the Dank down to about half health now, as he's flipped his guns so that he can help support a enemy push into B-cap.
Well, he's looking for the Smolensk. He knows Carrier Hosho's Smolensk is snuggled up next to B. That's the shot he wants.
Oh, yeah.
He's waiting for that spot. As Dragon Shimakaze has now rotated south, looks like he might. I'm not sure if he's going to smoke up. He is smoking up BFK's Des Moines as he heads down towards the A-cap. Williams in a bit of trouble here. The Smolensk up north is continuing to farm him. He's looking for this shot that Hosho is just determined not to give him. Let's have a look at where Hosho actually is. Hosho, ooh, Congo Pride now into B, smoking in front of Hosho. Williams in trouble.
William gave a little too much side there to the Stalingrad. Unlimited chromosome.
He took a blind shot at Hosho. I think it was blind. It was
absolutely blind. And Dank goes down.
Doesn't get much out of it, but CUTER claims back one of their battleship's kills as they now own all the caps and about a 150-point lead here with 7 minutes to play.
Wow.
Dragon Shimakaze must now be into A. Yes, there he is.
And here comes the radar.
Torps down on that smoke, the Kremlin, and whoever else is down there with him as he's trying to bag an A. 07 trying to stay in this game. They're down a ship and down 2 caps here.
Uh-oh.
They're definitely, like, A is the play for them. They don't have enough force on the top of the map to get back into C.
Yep. Big Ben just now detected those 2 torpedoes. He's going to take 1 bow, 1 stern. And he's on fire.
Yep, Big Ben now on fire and flooding here as he is into the A-cap. Over a 200-point lead now for CUTER. They're going to lose Ben, and they might lose not good enough's Moskva at or about the same time. Not good enough getting hammered here, but he is healing.
It's going to be it, though. If both those go down, that's game. Not much that 07 can do about this situation.
Less than 60 seconds on the timer. CUTER looking very, very solid to claim game 1 here on Crash Zone Alpha.
There it is.
Even more points on the, even fewer, less time on the timer now. 20 seconds now for 07 to make a play, bag a kill. Oh, big hit on Prince Eugen, but I think it's going to come too late. He's down to 5K in healing. They're pushing hard, but I think they're going to get Ben off the board here, Zath. And when they do that, it's over. That's the game.
It.